Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. Russian President Vladimir Putin just put out a statement the other day, and it had to do with global economies, the developing of the BRICS countries, and how these rapidly developing economies around the world are now going to settle payments. So it's interesting insight here. I'm going to play you guys this clip. I'm going to turn the volume off, though, and read the transcript here because he's speaking in Russian anyway. So basically it says, he says, many other rapid developing economies of the world, including China, India, Latin American states, are also switching to the use of national currencies in foreign trade settlements. And it is important to coordinate joint efforts to form such a new decentralized global financial system, he says. Of course, the stability of all global finance will largely depend on this decentralization. The more decentralized it is, the better for the global economy. So he's really touting decentralization. He says it will be less dependent on those crisis phenomena in those countries that still have such an advantage as world reserve currencies. So here he is obviously talking down the US dollar. And what else does he say here? Does he say any more? I don't think so. No, it just restarts to the beginning. So focusing on decentralization, focusing on distributed ledger technology, obviously a new way of transitioning, not relying on the traditional old format, which is fiat currencies, and one world reserve currency to settle all trade. Now, why this is important, guys, is because, and I'm going to tell you in a second how Russia connects to this. Michael Branch posted this. Okay, Ripple's latest new value report analyzed the crypto trends associated with businesses. And so what did Ripple find in their report? Several companies from the traditional finance space have been stepping into the crypto sphere. They've been doing so in a host of ways, right from investing in assets in order to bolster their financial position, to broadening their offerings to customers and tying up crypto-related companies. Evidently, TradeFi jumping into crypto has been helping and boosting the confidence of the masses. In turn, the investor appetite is seemingly increasing. Ripple's latest new value report analyzed the crypto trends associated with businesses, and over 70%, guys, of finance leaders feel that their confidence in the crypto industry has increased in just the past 6 months. 70% has said, yeah, my confidence in crypto has increased, despite the fact that over the last 6 months, where would we have been 6 months ago? December, November, December, I guess maybe that was at a very, very low point. But you guys can see what institutions are saying compared to how retail feels. If you guys didn't catch the video I did this morning, I will link that up here in the top right-hand corner. And right at the top of the video, if you guys go to see that video, watch even just the first minute or two of that video. I talk about Google Trends and how retail has been so down on crypto that this is the lowest point since December 2020. And I was talking about the chart and, just looking at the chart, why would you be down on crypto when the market is up significantly since the beginning of the year? It kind of doesn't make sense to me as a trader. However, we have better insight into this market rather than the everyday Joe. So I think our views are more in line with these institutions. 70% are saying they feel more confident in the last 6 months. In fact, more than 90% of them believe that this technology will have a significant or massive impact on business, finance, and society within the next 3 years. This, in turn, points towards the overwhelming enthusiasm pertaining to the prospects for crypto and other digital assets. So look at what else they're saying. 90% of them believe that the technology will have a massive impact in the next 3 years. So into 2026, guys, the bull run is starting. Institutions are now getting interested in cryptocurrency, and all around the world, they're trying to hammer out regulatory clarity. And we're already seeing it happening in Asia, in the Middle East, in Europe, South America, other parts of the world, except in the United States. But we're working at it. We are working at it. Well, hacks and attacks are quite common in this space. However, they have not essentially dented the optimism of stalwarts, according to Ripple's report. So a fairly positive report. In contrasting this with this morning's video, again, guys, I urge you just even watch the first minute or two of this morning's video because retail sentiment is low. Meanwhile, institutional sentiment is high, and I think this speaks volumes. Going to the point that I made this morning on my Patreon channel, guys, the market is low right now. We are here, okay? So still trading relatively low, down off all-time highs. If you're new to the market, you might be thinking to yourself, okay, I'm looking to trade for profit. So I started a Patreon. I'm going to be documenting my journey. It's only $5 a month to join. I'm going to be posting trade videos on the days that I trade, and I'm going to be telling you guys a little bit about the picks that I'm trading. And the reason why I'm pushing it is because, guys, I don't want people to join the Patreon a year from now, or even 6 months from now. I want you guys to join now because now's a really exciting time, okay? Retail is not interested. We got to get on the right side of these trades. So this is what I'm doing, patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. But I wanted to get back to Russia, how this connects to Russia. Talking about this new technology, I wanted to remind you of this document, and I know it was originally discovered by King Solomon about a year ago, maybe longer. The Bank of Russia already has links to Ripple and XRP. Now, in this document here, it's actually bigger if I don't click on it. Right here, it states here, the Bank of Russia did have a project, a pilot project for cross-border transfer implementation in the first half of 2018. The Bank of Russia's Novosibirsk Innovative Laboratory conducted research on testing the possibility of cross-border settlements using the Ripple platform. The system technology assumed that the settlement participants had special accounts opened in national payment systems and addresses on the Ripple network. Reflection of operations in national payment systems could be performed before and after each transfer and at the end of the trading day or at certain intervals. So they used XRP transfers. It even specifies down here, or equivalents of fiat currencies issued by each participant, the national bank said. Development of the procedure for determining cross rates for internal currency of Ripple XRP when deciding to use XRP in interstate settlements. So this was all outlined in this report from back in 2018. But guys, we're seeing it now come to fruition. We're seeing, it really grow, even to the point where Vladimir Putin is, commenting on how a decentralized system is better for the global economy. And, XRP obviously going to be central to this decentralized system. So I wanted to thank Michael and Combate here for posting that, also documenting Ripple just for, reminding us about that Russian connection. Now, Wrath of Kahneman here posting this, more confusion. This study from the University of Twente used Ripple as its test case, proving blockchain does not improve liquidity for banks. It's interesting as they surveyed 101 bank earnings from 2016 to 2021. So this would have been at a time when, this was at a weird time because now more than ever, post-beer flu, so 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023 is when banks' need for liquidity is at its highest, but they did this, from 2016 to 2021. So their results are that it does not improve liquidity. Overall, Ripple's claim that its services can help banks drastically cut costs are not borne out of this analysis, contrary to the expected reduction in banks' expenses from foreign transaction fees. And they're stating here the fees, in fact, rose after their implementation of RippleNet. It kind of reminds me of that comment that what was his name? Hishmek Ursek or something like that. The CEO of Western Union made when they test drove Ripple way back in 2018, basically saying, well, we made a few transactions, but we really didn't see any cost savings. Well, yeah, I mean, if you're only making like a handful of transactions, I think he made like a dozen transactions or something like that, and didn't see where there was any cost savings. Well, I mean, this to me sounds like the same kind of flawed logic here. Wrath of Kahneman continues by saying the most glaring error is they seem to have assumed that RippleNet uses ODL and therefore XRP for every transaction, and that is incorrect. They look at financial reports assuming they were seeing XRP use, but they were largely only seeing a messaging suite. Further evidence of the mistake. On the table of the banks listed, we see countries listed with no ODL users. Some are forbidden, and others had not adopted it in the timelines given. So, a lot of glaring errors here. He goes on to say, still, the study offers some interesting perspectives on why there was not a rush from banks in the early days. Already Basel compliant another messaging system is only added expense, hence RippleNet's adoption by newer, smaller fintechs. And I'm sure there are more discussions about the methods. Surely regions and timeframes matter as the data is aggregated, and I'm sure this will be used to bash, but it seems to be deeply flawed. So more people down here criticizing the study. Also, even T. Holbetta came out and said, it's written by someone who is supervised by an associate plus assistant professor. This is a master's or PhD thesis. Haven't read it. But a true analysis would compare to other banks in those countries, look for revenue changes. Apparently, RippleNet makes a bank's interest rates rise, which I think is just hogwash. Nevertheless, this was released, and so I do have the paper up here. It was just released a couple months ago, March 2023. So it is a fairly new report, but we do not want to spread FUD. Again, the timeline looked at here, 2016 to 2021, probably wasn't the best timeline. I bet if they were to take another, snapshot of Ripple and XRP utility and, all things considering, an example, on-demand liquidity has seen a big push since then. So, things are different now. And I bet you if we were to compare timelines, things would look a lot better, at least for this PhD or master student's thesis. Anyway, interesting find here from Wrath of Kahneman. Again, not FUD, but maybe a bit of a flawed paper. I don't know. You tell me what you guys think. The Cryptic Poet here is also posting this with regards to Ripple partner bank Dhofar. Now, in the real world, okay, moving away from the theoretical thesis, and in the real world, we're actually seeing banks, huge banks, benefiting from the usage of RippleNet. And now Ripple partner bank Dhofar makes an offer to acquire another bank, Ali Bank. And we've been seeing Ripple clients doing this. Because the technology behind Ripple partnered banks is so efficient, that gives the banks leverage to be able to take over their competition, acquire them, take them out. And in this case, we're seeing Bank Dhofar take over this other bank here. So this is giving the financial terms and the representatives involved. It's not really a news story, but more of a report. After completion of the takeover offer, Bank Dhofar will look to effect a combination of ABO. We believe that a combination of Bank Dhofar and ABO is a compelling opportunity for ABO shareholders. So just talking about how it's going to benefit the shareholders, really. So, I mean, this is pretty much a headline. The details of the deal, though, are down here. If you guys are interested in that kind of thing, I will leave it in the description of the video. Anyway, wanted to thank the Cryptic Poet for posting that. But guys, check out the next bit of information here that Digital Assets Daily and a few others have uncovered with regards to the Federal Reserve Bank of Atlanta, okay? He's saying here we've explained day one the intent and design of XRP for wholesale. Now, there was a lot of controversy surrounding wholesale, retail. Who is supposed to hold XRP? Is it meant for wholesale? Is it meant for retail? Well, maybe the question is still up for debate, or maybe it's a little bit of column A and column B. Here, the Fed and the BIS state the same, though, with regards to the wholesale argument, okay? So this is a screen grab from the Mariana Project for Trade and Settlement of Wholesale CBDCs from the Bank for International Settlements, the BIS. Ripple and Stellar are two blockchain-based companies that are trying to make value transfer cheaper. Ripple provides various services via the use of its native token, the XRP, which is roughly envisioned as an international payment medium or wholesale settlement coin. International payment medium, wholesale settlement coin stated right here in this document. Finality, formerly Settlement Coin, is also seeking regulatory approval to provide such services. So again, guys, from the BIS, and this was taken from this report here from Cowboy Crypto on Twitter, highlighting that exact point down here. Ripple provides various services via the use of its native token, payment, international payment medium, wholesale settlement coin, and it shows you guys a screen grab of some of the internal workings of this system. Now, Wrath of Kahneman was also in on this too, okay? The Atlanta Fed report, and I've got the report up here. This is a brand new report from May of 2023, an introduction to Web3 with implications for financial services. They mention Ripple and they describe XRP as an international payment medium or wholesale settlement coin. Contrary to what some were saying in the XRP community, that XRP is meant for everybody. So there's this, contested view that XRP is not really meant for us to hold, and that, the fact that we're holding it on the open market, the fact that we got in early, the fact that, crypto sentiment is really, really, really low right now, well, who knows what's going to happen with that verdict, and who knows what's going to happen with cryptocurrency in the near future. But ultimately, retail should not be holding XRP. That is the thesis that some have mentioned. I shouldn't have said this, but the article doesn't say the Fed is going to use XRP. This is coming from Wrath of Kahneman. It just mentions it is an example for cross-border payments. Exciting to notice, but they're not saying they're using it. Nevertheless, they are saying that it is a settlement coin, international medium, wholesale settlement coin. And to give you guys just a brief description of this, if you don't know what it is, what are retail and wholesale central bank digital currencies, for example? So not that XRP is a central bank digital currency, but the concept of wholesale versus retail, okay? A value-based wholesale CBDC would replace or complement reserves at the central bank level with a restricted access digital token. A token would be the bearer asset, meaning that during the transaction, the sender would transfer the value to the receiver without intermediaries. So that sounds a lot like what XRP should be doing in terms of what it is supposed to do. The wholesale CBDC is seen as most popular proposal among central banks because of the potential to make it existing wholesale financial systems faster, inexpensive, and safer, whereas a retail CBDC is issued for the general public. So wholesale is meant for internal, financial institutions, central banks, the Bank for International Settlements, whoever. And this is exactly what the Fed in the Fed Atlanta is saying in their policy hub here, XRP and by extension XLM. Although they do not mention XLM here, they mention Stellar as one blockchain company, but Ripple, but in the next sentence they say Ripple provides various services via the use of its native token XRP, which is roughly envisaged as an international payment medium or wholesale settlement coin. So That also begs another question: is XLM meant for retail? I don't know. And so that definitely opens up another set of questions. So guys, XRP, not a retail coin, a wholesale coin. This was just mentioned in May 2023, so just this month, from the Federal Reserve Bank of Atlanta. And again, retail payments, transactions made between consumers and businesses. Retail payment accounts for most payments by number, but represent a small part of the total face value of payments. Compare that to wholesale payments, guys. Wholesale payments used to settle transactions between banks and financial institutions. So that is the key concept here that I want to bring to you today. In this May 2023 report, we got the most recent confirmation that XRP is made as an international payment medium and wholesale settlement coin. They do not mention Stellar's XLM there, but it is going to be very, very interesting how these coins react in the next bull run, guys. XRP right now trading at about 46 cents, just above 46.5 cents as of the time of this recording. Where have we got XLM? XLM here trading at about 8 cents, okay, 0.087. And the positive news for us, guys, sentiment is still very, very low for the retail traders. People are just not interested in cryptocurrency, and this is why I'm getting into the market, guys, and I'm posting my trades on my Patreon site. Only $5 a month if you guys haven't signed up yet. If this is something you're interested in, I'm going to be posting my trades on the day that they occur. We're going to talk about strategy. We're going to talk about different types of cryptocurrencies. I'm diversifying into a bunch of different cryptocurrencies. So hedging my bets, and we're looking at meme coins, some coins with real world value. Also, probably, I'm just thinking this right now, probably going to be talking about my current positions too. The largest positions that I hold in XRP, Algorand, VeChain is one example. Bitcoin, again, another big one, in HBAR. I've talked a lot about those coins on this channel in the past. What are my strategies now? Well, if you guys want to follow my trading journey, it is only $5 a month, patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. Like I said, the market is poised to rally, guys. This is just the beginning. And if you're not in the market now, I have a feeling we're not going to see lower lows. That's just my opinion. I want to hear what you guys think, though. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always like hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.